last time on La-Mulana, we found the endless corridor, and we found the labyrinth, and wait, why would I not save with full health? That's weird, right? We purchased the boots. We have the Pegasus, not Pegasus boots, Hermes boots. And I don't know what I want to do first other than buy shuriken. Oh, and we're saving up for the helmet. Oh, I should change the stream title. I didn't do that. Work's done, had a nice meal. Nice. Yeah, no, it's all good, Petrie, thank you. I will figure it out eventually. I'm not streaming on Monday, so that's when I'll have the most time to like focus on stream details. Chillin' playing random games, nice. Okay, what is this? Map drawing and note taking simulator. La-Mulana. What do I usually put here? That works. I want to look like the adventure guy with ripped open shirt hat and weird leather boots. It's quite a look. The Hermes boots actually showed up in the drawing. That's kind of cool. And so did the hand scanner. Oh, and so does the buckler. Oh, that's cute. You can see where it's equipped on your person. He's Indiana Jones, exactly. I have 3 mice plugged into my laptop. I found an amazing app that lets you have multiple cursors on one computer. So a game can lock one cursor and the other controls overjoyed. That's cool. We just took a stretch and screen break. Hi, Soul Flamer, welcome in. How's it going? Another point in the game brimming with details. It really is. Oh, we found a fairy for the first time. We got this funny email called Fairies, Yo. The emails have become less frequent, so I don't mind leaving that software running. For now. Let's save. And let's... Where do we want to go first? Oh, can I buy shuriken in the village, or do I have to buy them in the ruins? I can't remember. Let's look. Yeah, I can buy them here. 26 should be fine. That should be fine for now. I'm trying to save up for the helmet. You can see how goofy La Mesa looks once you've collected all the items. Yes. The email sounds like Zelpud fell into a slang dictionary. Yeah. I guess I'll save with these two. What's the difference between quick save and long save? The quick save just makes it so that sets it as your new warp point if you die. Save word. You can answer that. But like actually saving in the menu makes a save file for your progress. Okay, cool. So I can play The Witness finally, hopefully. I hope so too. We got to see some very endgame stuff when we raided Julia yesterday. It was really fun. Oh, I can't walk to the right there at all. What am I doing? Wasting time. Where do I want to go? I don't know, let's go to the Endless Corridor and look for the pendant. Why not? This is a new thing that we found last time. I don't know if I'll be able to do it yet. Something that's really interesting about this game is, it doesn't feel like a Metroidvania where... Oh, this is a new clue. You get to certain points, and you're like, oh, I need a double jump here. It's like, maybe this is a puzzle that I haven't figured out yet, or maybe I need an item, or maybe I can do it now, or maybe I have to do it later. Like, it's much more ambiguous. Quick save is continue when you die. Thank you, fishies. Yep. Zelpud gotta stay hip and cool so he can communicate with the youth. Should be in the place where one goes to gaze upon the goddess Isis. Okay, let me consult my notes. Should we put glasses on for note reading? For the blue light blocking and note reading? The feeling of this area sure seems double jumpish, is always weird in Metroidvanias. Like, there are some games where you just know, I need bombs. You, like, go up to the blockade and it says, a bomb would break this. Okay. But in this one, it's like, I don't know. I mean, it does say certain things like, Goddess Isis. Okay, I probably have to find where that is. It's open, makes the game fantastic for randomizer. Ooh, don't even tempt me with that yet. Glasses make you smarter. The flip side is often the games suddenly feel right once jumping upgrades have been acquired. Yeah. I think there's a jump upgrade in this game. Don't confirm it, but I'm pretty sure I saw it in, like, the trailer. So, not really spoilers. I don't know. Okay. Temple of the Sun. Twin Labyrinths. Endless Corridor. Find Isis's pendant in the place where one goes to gaze upon the goddess Isis. In the place where one goes to gaze upon goddess Isis. Your playthrough's been far easier to follow along. The vast majority of the game that I've seen is randomizer play. Oh, interesting. The main jump upgrade is getting used to how weird the jump is. I know. How come Indiana Jones only wears glasses when he's teaching? Yep. Makes him smarter. I have... Oh, I don't have a note for Isis. I have... Mechanical God, White Giant, Thoth, Osiris, Anubis, Sealed Wall, and those are mostly notes from the Sun Temple, which is interesting. So maybe... But she said it was in this land? I don't know if that means it's in the Endless Corridor or it's like somewhere, you know? And there's not really statues in the Endless Corridor so much as there are, I don't know, just enemies and vases. There's a keyhole beneath the diagram that signifies endlessness. Research mode. Does it always say that when I read stuff? Keyhole beneath diagram for endlessness. Interesting. I haven't drawn a map for this area yet either because it's 4 rooms so far, or so it seems. Only with the glasses on. Oh, I'm getting beat up by a bat while I'm reading chat. Rude. I don't know how to break these things. We're not doing so well so far. I don't know. Did I break all of the pots? I don't know. This is quite the puzzle. This one doesn't, the skeleton doesn't give me any information. I didn't have a game plan coming into the day today. Oh no. Last time we were spending a decent amount of time mapping out Mausoleum as well. And then I guess I could try the speed upgrade in that one room in Temple of the Sun. I feel like we're close to something on some of these puzzles, but others just completely, like, no idea where to go. Wow. This room is terrible. Like, a key doesn't fall out of one of those containers or anything. Oh, pretty soon I'll be able to test my theory and see if I get another green dot and... Oh, that was Duncan. I thought I heard the door knocking. If I get another green dot, if it fills my health meter. Oh, and we found the mausoleum map last time, so let's look at that too. Moon Palace of the Giants. Okay. My typing goes downhill. No worries, kitty. I didn't even notice. As long as you're not devolving into face roll oracle. What does that mean? Is this also Moon Palace? Yep. So far, all the rooms have been 2 squares wide, as far as the naming conventions go. Oh, there's spikes up there. Okay. Rolling your face across the keyboard and pressing enter. Oh my gosh. We haven't gotten to that point yet. Oh, I haven't been down here yet. Nebra Sky Disc. We have notes on this place. Disc with a K. Where are my notes? Nebra Sky Disc. Beneath this land, leap on what floats there from above. Heavens shall move at your command. You didn't read my letter salad. Hope it will at least taste good. Leap on what floats there from above. So like these 2 platforms. And there's a couple things to read, and there's some ghosts. I kind of want to read stuff first. The celestial bodies lie within. Control the celestial bodies, and even time may be shifted. Exciting. I'm writing it. No, where's my mausoleum part 2? Jen, you're the worst note taker. It's here. Why did I make a line? We're putting it here. Or is there a spot next to the other Nebra Sky Disc note? No. Alright, here's the other thing I want to do. So the next time we're playing this is Monday. work with the stream overlay and see what I can do. Transfer to Google Notes. Or have separate sheets of paper. Actually, you know what I should do? The backs of all of the maps are line paper. So like on the back of the mausoleum map, I could write mausoleum notes and just like flip this over to read or something. I don't know. I'll think about it. But today will be fine. Celestial bodies lie within. Control them. Even time. Maybe shifted. Requires a big long pinboard to create conspiracy theory. Yes. Like Kingdom Hearts that I've seen people do pinboards for and like whiteboards and stuff. Seems like for this contraption, you need to land on the floating platform with a lot of power. It won't budge if you don't jump from high enough. Proof? I jump about as good as a stone, so when I hopped onto the platform, I slipped and fell to my death. How's that for proof? Jump on floating platform with force. Okay. So something need to like shoot me out onto the platform and not just jumping down. Can I examine these? Oh. I just want to read the thing. Nebra sky disk, mural with carvings of moon, sun, and stars. Looks like it is built to spin. Carving with moon, sun, and stars. Built to spin. Honestly, don't know what kind of technology or voodoo is going on that we can read the skeleton's last memories or opinions, but it's a cool way of conveying information. Yeah. I was so glad when I learned that. Whee! Oh, I missed. This is a fun little playground. Oh my god. The ghosts are built to land at the exact wrong spot. Like a record baby, it's built to spin right round. Is this doing things to the outside environment? I don't know. I mean, it's certainly spinning the thing. And I can't jump down from up here. There's a floor. Let's try... I want the moon to be on top. I kind of want to go up to the surface and see if anything happened. What did that other note say? Heavens shall move at your command. I think it looks... Oh, there is a thing about moonlight. Hang on. I have a note about moonlight. I was like, I don't remember. I remember jump into the sun, and I remember something about moonlight. See, and that's why I need like Google Notes, because then I can Control F and find the word that I'm looking for. Data. They wrote it down just before they died. It's like a journal. Can't find the moonlight. Just, I can't win with the song lyrics today. Searchable notes are so useful. I keep flipping over to Taiji notes on accident. Okay. I'm gonna skim. Usually I'm pretty good at skimming and scanning. I don't think it's gonna be in the glossary section. Seven histories. Bright red light is different than moonlight. Cliff of Radiance. Holy Grail, how the Holy Grail works. Oh, these are notes on Spring in the Sky, which we haven't been back to in a minute. Does it have to do with that one fish? The purity fish? Oh, here we go. Eden. Open 4 boxes, 4 pedestals, stand before the face of highest rank in place bathed in moonlight. Above the sun is spring in the sky. Water moves the tower, transfer. So that mentions the sun. But we've got the sun temple and the sun. Okay, but now I know bathed in moonlight is a note from Spring in the Sky. Stand before the face of highest rank. I feel like I haven't done enough in Spring in the Sky yet for that to make sense. It's just got me an idea. Have you ever heard of note-taking program Obsidian? It's a free personal knowledge management system. I have not heard of that. No. It sounds intriguing. Okay. Oh, wait, what about my theory, though? Let's keep going because I want to test my theory. Let's go back to Spring in the Sky. Where's my Spring in the Sky map? But we haven't been able to traverse much of this area because of the poison water, so maybe I should wait until I get the purity thing or the helmet to come back here. Oh, there's too many choices. I need to make a decision. Ah, no. No, no, no. Oh. Okay, that meter's not full yet. No, no. Maybe if I come back and hit it again, it'll give me another green thing. No! Pout. I'm just trying to test a theory. Have I written down any room names here? No, because I... excuse me. I haven't been back since figuring out the room name stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a plan. Oh, there's an eyeball. I almost died. Okay, this room doesn't have an eyeball. No one's dropped super missiles yet. Sorry, there's something caught in my throat. Priest Owens takes the form of a fish. This land flourishes under him, and only he may close the floodgate. And this box, I don't know what to do with yet. I don't want to go for a swim. I don't know if I'm gonna find what I'm looking for. I'm afraid of the eyeball. Come on. Maybe I go somewhere safer to test this theory. And not somewhere with poisonous water. Maybe just test it on snakes. The eyeball is scary because sometimes when you use your weapon, it electrocutes you. And I haven't quite figured out when it does and when it doesn't. It seems like if there's a wall between me and the eyeball, it can't see me. And so I don't get electrocuted. And sometimes I remember and sometimes I just forget and I use it anyway and I don't get shocked and I don't know why. It's weird. No, please, no need to apologize, Adam. I am happy to try to explain what I know, but I feel like I don't know very much. Yay! Theory proven! Finally figured out how that works. When I fill up the blue meter underneath the green meter, my health goes back up. To some extent, explaining things can help for realizing, definitely. Okay. Oh, and I got the surface map last time. Oh. Wait, I got a ton of coins from the corridor. Let's buy the helmet. Where is the helmet? Ooh, it's in the labyrinth. But the one in the labyrinth disappeared. So that's troubling. I forget how to get to the labyrinth. I think it's in the lower right-hand corner of the Mausoleum of Giants, yeah. We're spending a lot of time in the mausoleum. This is the mausoleum shop, which doesn't have it. This is where we got the boots, right? Yep. How are we doing on weights? We have 7 weights? I have enough to get some weights, too. Let's get a little bit. Just for safekeeping. For good measure. Oh, this isn't how I get down there? I forget how to get down there. Just by falling, I guess? Ah! No, this stupid worms. It should be over here. Star Palace of the Giants. The giants are not the ones with the Egyptian god and goddess names. That's in the Sun Temple. Okay, waiting for this guy to get off the ladder. Excuse you. When you make jokes about funny observations, you know the bats only need a hug. They're excited to see you. They must have been lonely. I like the bats. Okay, this room has an eyeball. But, oh, I did it right in front of the staircase. Okay. But I'm usually safe under there. Oh, it is back. I don't think it disappeared. I think I just got lost in the labyrinth. Helmet! We got the helmet. You're already wearing it. You're already wearing it. Okay. So now do we use the helmet for the waterfall by the surface? We really need also this, like, water purity thing. Oh, let's see how it looks. It says we're already wearing it. You can't see it. The hat's in the way. Oh well. Lolo, how's it going? I don't really have reason to stay here in the dolphin labyrinth. Oh, this game. Okay, let's see if I can get farther in Spring in the Sky, because we haven't been back in a while. Here we go. Archaeologist, adventurer, ninja always needs his hat. We can't cover up the hat. It's important. Okay, so this is Mirror Waterfall. We are looking for a fish. There's lots of fish, but we're looking for a fish. Holy fish dwells on a rock, polished by maiden of purity, protects from poison water. We're looking for the scale sphere. We're looking for boxes and pedestals. Is the Spring in the Sky? It says built by giants. I can't, I'm trying to read my notes. Owens is a fish that can close the floodgate. We need to close or open the floodgate. Open the floodgate of Owens, the water will flow. Water moves the tower, transforms to power, it flows. Which we learned about the tower that the giants built in the Mausoleum of the Giants. Ugh. Confusing. Okay. Let's just look around for a bit. I don't think I can swim up this waterfall. Oh, but since I'm not underwater, I'm not losing health. Okay. But down here I will. This room is also mirror waterfall. I never figured out how to open this chest. Have we ever gone below here? This is Owen's waterfall. Owen's. Yeah, we have gone down here because there's this plug that we can pull, maybe. At some point, perhaps. Is that fish? Wait. Where's the note about the red light? I wish I hadn't abridged this note so much. It says, find Bahamut, Fishmaster hold red light. I don't know what words are missing there. Half man, half fish. Owen's is half man, half fish. Maybe that fish is the scale sphere. I don't know. The scale sphere says it's a fish on a rock. Above the sun is spring in the sky. Can I examine that fish? This opens the door up there. I might as well open it. Waterweed has been planted here, and there is a pump that brings in air, a comfortable space for fish. Okay. Waterweed. I'll write that down. I'm out of room. This is bad. I'm just writing waterweed and air pumped in by anglerfish. I don't know, it feels important. Maybe it's just environmental description. Yeah, look, there's like a little air filter in the corner. Oh, you can't see it because of my camera. It's got little bubbles. It's cute. Yeah, it's a running shark. It's a land shark. I don't have any other... What are we doing here? Oh my god. Adam, please. I don't have any other items. Like, I don't have any fish food. Or... like, treasure chest with bubbles coming out of it. What else do fish like? Plants to hide in. The water moves the tower, transformed into power, it flows from here. This, what I'm standing on, looks like it's at least worn away. Oh yeah, because that's where the blue light was. Never mind. It was awful. No, no, it's okay. I thought it was worth saying. Oops. I got a laugh out of it. The horse running over water. Yeah, that's a Capricorn. It's like a little water goat. Maybe. I'm stalling. I want to have some kind of epiphany about this room. Owen's waterfall. And I think the one below it is also... Yep. Both of these. Waterfall. Alright. Maybe we'll just jump into the water. Oh, this room. What's that thing in the corner? Ah! No. Oh my god. This fish is cruel. I forget if I could make this jump. Yeah. I don't have a ton of health, but I kind of want to go explore whatever that wheel is in the corner. See if I can get to it. It's not letting me examine. This is like all my health draining away. Oh shoot. I'm gonna chicken out. I don't like this area. I wish I had something better to go off of. Let's go back to the puddle. I mean, I have lots to go off of. I wish I could make up my mind and like pick one specific thing that I want to try. Because all I really did there was map out some of the rooms I've already been to. And I can't do much. Alright, I changed my mind. I want to go back to Temple of the Sun instead and look for Isis. Wait. The minecart is here. The little cart is here. Do you think that has to do with the sun? The sky disk? Statue of the giant hidden in the land of the inferno. Words of spirit hidden within, wait for them to show. Jump into the sun. Solve all puzzles and then make descent. Scale spheres, a holy fish on a rock. Call forth the power of the twins. None of this really makes that much sense. And I keep having to switch out my map because I keep changing my mind on where I want to go. Whenever dawn arrives, the first thing I think of is minecarts. Same. What is this room called? Watchtower. Okay. But I want to go to the minecart. Wait, can I walk up these now because I got the boots? Oh my gosh, life is good. Remember when it told me I couldn't move fast enough? Game changer. I forgot about that note. I don't think I wrote that down. I think I read... Oh, maybe I did. Did I write it down? Is it right here? Yeah. Okay, well, we would have gotten there. Things are happening! Can I ride in this? Okay, Is it you that told me about it? A trolley. You gotta cut it down, but I don't know the details. The Holy Grail is useful. That's an understatement. Well... Oh, I got stuck for a second. Where do I want to go now? Mario Kart and Minecraft, yeah. That's where the Metroidvania flavor kicks in a little bit, yeah. I can see it. Alright, I want to go over here, I guess. No, that bird wasn't even flying yet. If I fall down here, I'm gonna get stuck. But I want to examine Hassor again. I don't know. I feel like we're at the part of the game where at some point you can't explore anymore until you solve at least one puzzle. And I'm not doing so good on the puzzle solving. Alright, let's not go down that way then. Let's just hang out. You can kind of control the direction of your fall sometimes. Weird. Oh. This room has an eyeball. Sonic. Now after I bought all those shurikens, I keep getting shurikens from enemies. I got an email. What do you mean slick and shiny? It's me. Slick and shiny and bald? I've got a little hair left, you know. Anyway, there are some slippery parts in these ruins. Once you start slipping, ain't no way you're coming up to the top. Someone with quick feet. Oh, this is old. So actually when I had the software turned off, it never... Oh god. Rip, 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 rip. It never even sent the emails. Those that fly shall be cast down. Have I read this before? I don't think so. The woman shall be with child when within the man. And a picture, another picture. Just like make a mini version of this. This like looks like whatever is underneath, because this is the sun room maybe here, and we've seen this pyramid looking room, but I've never seen the room below it. This is the woman. Okay, don't make fun of my drawing. What is being shown here? What are those little wiggly things with tails going towards the woman, and we're talking about fertility? I'm not gonna think too hard about it. I'm sure it's fine. It's myth and legend and lore. It's not meant to be inappropriate. It's not. Great Colonnade right side room. So I don't think that I've ever been over here or mapped this yet. I'm actually here. And there's just some switches for a doorway at the bottom, a one-way door from the outside, and an eyeball. If you were never sent emails about what was going on when the email client wasn't running, doesn't that mean it was spyware? Makes sense. Okay, there's a door up here. Great Colonnade right side room. That's this. The little door. Some cool statues I would like to examine. And now we're in here. The path that connects the two pyramids. Interesting. If I'm remembering SG1 correctly, Hathor is a goddess of sex, drugs, rock and roll. According to La-Mulana, goddess of love and joy. A bear with a donut over the head and 8 keys. Something like that. Oh. I'm jumping into the sun. It's not working. Nothing's happening. What's over here? A wait. What about now? Okay, let's jump down. Eyeball. Oh, this is just the other side of it. No. Sonic, please. Have mercy. Stargate has some fun takes on gods and goddesses. Fertility, medicine, and music if you want to be proper. Okay. Different takes than what this game says. Oh, can I examine this? No. What did that other switch do? Oh, I'm scared. Oh, did it open this chest, maybe? No. Those weighted switches are really hard to see sometimes. All of Earth's ancient gods, goddesses are aliens. Oh. Spoilers. Actually, I don't know. Probably not. I'm kind of stuck in a loop here. Is how it seems at the moment. And Sonic keeps beating me up. I can drop down. Let's try to drop down. I'm not gonna put a weight on that switch yet. This is Sun Pyramid Burial Chamber, okay? And then below us is the Sanctuary. So I'm gonna drop in and not be able to get back up out of it. And I don't have enough money for the heat-proof case yet. But maybe if I drop down, I can get back to the Room of Pillars. Maybe I'm fast enough to escape that now, although I feel like I should save before attempting. Ugh. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Let's jump back down. Splat. Keep going down. We're trying to get back to the pillars. This is where there's bats below me, but I'm just gonna fall. Is this the pillars? Yeah. We're just gonna science it out and see if I'm fast enough now. But the thing is, I'm wondering if this opens another door. I think it's purely just a trap. But now that we have the boots, I guess I really wanted to try. 'Cause I am fast enough now. But does it do anything else? I don't think so. It doesn't open any doors, it just closes 2 doors. What a letdown. Oh, and it reappears when you leave the room? Oh my god. This area has my least favorite enemies so far. Ancient mythology, there's often many variations of each. Yeah. It took writing to cement, unify the stories. Even that was recorded their existing variety. It's cool. With any mythology, like, everybody's kind of coming up with their own reasoning and meaning behind it. I still don't know how to meditate. Ugh. Okay, let's go back up again. Maybe now that I have the boots, I can get to the right-hand side of the big pyramid. I haven't tried that yet. And there's a door over there. It might just be a shop, but maybe it's something else. Oh my god. I hate some of these enemies so much. Altar of War. Okay. Like, I like the cats, but the fact that the bottom can, like, stay alive and still hurt you is really annoying. This, what if I keep going to the right here instead of falling down like I usually do? Nope. Oh, that was so close. And now I can climb this and get to the other side. But this Sonic is gonna hurt me. He's gonna mess me up. Oh, but I'm not tall enough. Yes. New area. The goddess Isis is at the Temple of the Sun. She gave birth to Horus and is a figure of motherhood. Because of this fact, she waits silently, perched higher than any other god. Isis. Figure of motherhood. Because of this, waits silently, perched higher than any other god. Reminds me of coming back to a coding project and you spend half the day trying to understand what you did yesterday. I know. It's like, I've learned a lot of things, but I don't know which of them is useful. Not all of them are useful right now. Oh, this is risky. I was told to choose 3 women. They are waiting at the promised location. I couldn't do it. Yet they still wait within the moon-gazing pit. To the one who reads this now, please pierce her heart in my stead. She who never lets her smile fade. Some big lore drops. They are waiting at promised location. I couldn't do it. Lore? So much lore. Okay, my notes are all over the place. The paper is falling apart. They still wait in moon gazing. Oh, I thought I could fit that in there. Moon gazing pit. Pierce her. Did I say steed? Stead. I think I said stead. Her heart in my stead. She who never lets Her smile fade. Hi Tour, welcome in. How are you? Unicorn confirmed. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, we'll take a stretch break eventually. Oh, you can kill the skeletons. You know, I never tried. Set. A statue that resembles the ancient Egyptian deity Set, god of benevolence and destruction. God of benevolence and destruction. I don't know why you never tried that. I just, you know, I figured out how to make them go dormant for a little bit. What are we doing today? We're playing La-Mulana, which is a game where you take lots of notes. It's really good. You don't have to take notes, but if you don't take notes, you will very likely suffer. This is Great Colonnade right side room. How descriptive. What's up with these statues underneath me? Can I read this one too? I feel like I risk falling into the pit if I read that one. We're gonna die. But I really want to know about the statue. Nephthys. Nephthys? Nephthys? Could have done something similar. They give strong dry bones vibes. Yeah. Like, they're not that much of a threat, so sometimes it's more of a pain to kill something than it is to just go around it. Goddess of the Night. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna have to exit out of the screen and immediately warp out of panic. Look, we're sleeping midair. Have I been down here yet? No, but I know where this is. Okay, this bird is gonna kill me. Let me read this first. Fill this place with water? If we pull the plug from the spring in the sky, does it fill the sun temple with water? Oh my gosh, it makes so much sense. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but like we've looked at above the sun is spring in the sky. Like that's one of the notes. The mirror that something, the something side will come within thy reach. Okay, I gotta write it down. Did I run out of room on that other page? Should I just put it here? Yeah. Could have done something similar. Shameless plug. Wait, what about beer? Fell? No. Fill this place with blank, probably water, maybe water. The mirror that something the something blank and hidden side within reach. Okay. Filling it with beer doesn't sound like a good idea. The bats fly around erratically. Can you imagine their movements while drunk? Jielric, welcome back. I'm a regular Twitch user now. Hi, Storage Heatery. Welcome back. We just got some new Sun Temple lore. And I'm about to run out of health, which is disappointing. Ooh, and there's like a new area, and there's a steam vent or something? Altar of Mirrors. That is this room. The mirror that something the hidden side reveals the hidden side, maybe? That would fit. TT, hello. How's it going? I'm scared of this steam vent. I feel like it'll hurt me. Is there an eyeball? Yeah, but hopefully I'm out of reach. Oh my god. I'm scared! No! The panic is real. I wonder if you can use like a little hot air balloon and it'll lift me up. Ugh, now is not the time to experiment. I need to save my progress. Really, what does it matter if you don't save, though? Like, have we picked up any items? No. I've read some tablets. But you can always reread tablets. Hi, Jake. How are you? Welcome in. You're fine since you're playing the game on Steam, please. Hi, Jacob. Welcome in. How's it going? Thanks for the good luck. It's a time, but I like it. Alright, let's just be brave. Yeah, nothing really happens. Maybe my trusty buckler. I don't think I've read anything about steam vents yet. Oh, I'm so scared of this room. So many enemies. So many bats! Oh no. Come on, come on, come on! Oh, these enemies are hard. Does this come back? The door goes back every time I leave the screen? That's annoying. I'm gonna run out of weights that way. Oh, there's an eyeball! Oh no. I'm scared of running away again. This is the worst. I just want to read the tablet and then we can go. And then we can get out of here. I'm having a sleepy day, but otherwise hanging in. Sleepy days are okay sometimes. Those can be good. Oh my gosh. Oh, oh, oh! I almost used my whip. There's no light up ahead. That doesn't feel helpful at all. We've had a couple of clues that say like cast a light on something, shine a light, moonlight, that type of vibe. I wonder if we do get like a flashlight or something. Maybe this new zone is completely in the dark. Or maybe this is the hidden side that gets revealed with the mirror. I don't know. There's so many what ifs. I think I'm about to get electrocuted though. No? Alright, let's get out of here. Let's go to the warm puddle. I'm scared. I think the unhelpful hints are my favorite. Thanks for that, La-Mulana. I came all this way. Gee, thanks. A hint. Ah, puddle. Who wants to go back to the Temple of the Sun and do all of that over again? So what did we learn about Isis? Waits silently perched higher than any other god. I feel like some prior knowledge of Isis as a goddess. Isn't Isis the goddess of creation? There's no light up ahead sounds like a very practical warning to give. Yeah. Like lantern required. Dark room. No access. What was I gonna do here? Oh, I was gonna look at the clue about the pendant. In the place where one goes to gaze upon goddess Isis. And Isis rests higher than any other god. Hi Lexi, how are you? Okay, I want to go to... I kind of want to go... Wait, if we go back to the Sun Temple... Now that I have these shoes, I can walk back up to the start, which is nice. Yeah, I can go over here. This dang bird. I don't see a god or a goddess in this room. This mural on the wall is the white giant. What's the next highest elevation of rooms? The one with the light puzzle. The ruins are treating me okay. Not perfect. I have boots now, so that's nice. We're trying to find gods and goddesses. Okay, if I go down here, where does this take me? Oh, right. I've been in this room a million times. Altar of War. No god or goddess yet. So is the one in Hathor's room the highest up that I've seen? But what's above the Temple of the Sun is the spring in the sky. Do we think maybe there are gods and goddesses in the spring in the sky? There's also a room over here that I don't know how to get to. Have I ever tried to jump across this? I might not have. No, I tried to jump like mid-screen transition. It didn't go well. I'm not picking up that bubble. Shout out to Boots. Indeed. Oh yeah, who's this? Anubis? Yeah. Who's this? Osiris? Can I jump up above this pyramid? Doesn't look like there's a room above it on the map. Have a good one, Trav. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, I didn't have the shuriken equipped. I was all ready to shoot them at Sonic. Nice. There's really nothing to examine on this screen. You have a great time zone too. And this room is scary. Oh, not enough momentum. It's like here. Figuring out where to jump for that. Did I climb down here yet? No. This is a bad idea. How do I get to that staircase though? Like this? But it's blocked. Weird. Come on, let me up. You can't jump up from there. Have to have a ladder. I can push this one-way door and get back inside the pyramid. And where is this fish that I'm supposed to find? Holy fish dwells on rock. Polished by maiden of purity. What does that mean? Because I feel like in order to progress in the Temple of the Sun, I need to do something to drain the water in Spring in the Sky. In order to explore Spring in the Sky more thoroughly, I feel like I need the Scale Sphere, which isn't totally true. Like, I can go explore, but you take a lot of damage. I also need a light source for whatever this other zone is, maybe. I also need to learn how to pray. Huh? Okay, I'm bored of this area. Let's go back to the labyrinth for a minute. Can I get here? No, I have to walk. I don't have a warp to the labyrinth. I have an honest question. It's not like a spoilery safe word question, but it's like how common is it to get nudges and or look up hints and stuff like that? Because it feels like the game where you really don't want to, because then you're missing out on like figuring it out on your own. But it's also, some of the puzzles are supposedly really difficult and cryptic, so I'm like, at what point do we explore that, or is it like totally worth it to never do that? It's pretty common, yeah. The question was, how common is it to like ask for nudges and or look up hints? I might need like a nudge in one particular direction soon, because I'm just kind of, I'm all over the place. I'm going back to the labyrinth just because of all the areas. I feel like it's the one I've explored the least. Oh, I almost missed the elevator. But there's not much to it so far, it seems. Are these the twins? There's two of them. I think it depends on if you have a hint master you trust. It's rare to have a 100% clean playthrough. They also tend to take a long time. You can only give you good nudges and still... Yeah. As much as you like to beat the game without guiding, as someone who knows the game, I can say that would be a monumental task. It's like one of those things where it's almost a community game, right? Like... You can play Dark Souls completely hint-free, help-free for the first time, but the community is mostly, like, ready to help you with mechanics if you need it. Like, don't tell me how to fight the boss, but tell me little menu things that I might need to know, or, like, I'm completely stuck, give me a gentle hint. That type of stuff is kind of how it feels. I looked up a bunch shamelessly, and I'm honestly not sure if it's as satisfying as Outer Wilds to be spoiler-free, if only because there's so much and some of it is unfair. Yeah, okay. There's a community aspect to the game. That's more what I'm getting at. Like, I'm so down to try and do it on my own, because I think it's fun to see, like, what some people find on their own, and what they can't, even though some things seem more hidden or less hidden, depending on who you ask. But I also don't want to get stuck for too long. It's not as fun to watch aimless brainstorming. Sometimes. It depends. Okay, let's look at this fish down here. This is the dolphin room. A statue in the shape of a dolphin. The designs do not match any known civilization. Is this the scale sphere? How do I polish it? Dolphin. Is this a dolphin? This was in the Endless Corridor. I don't think they're the same drawing. Similar, kind of. To sort of give you an idea, if you asked for a hint, I'd say something like, why not look around an area rather than specific? Yeah, that's probably what I would lean towards. Point me in a general direction of a place to look around. I think I'm safe from the eye over here. Can I go through this? No. It's too hot. Oh. So many bats. We know that that's the shop. This is a pig room. What is that up there? I think I remember seeing that, but I was like really scared when I first came into this section and did not want to continue yet. Oh, it's a trap. Fair enough. Thanks, La-Mulana. No map. I think this is the most I've explored this area so far. I made a full trigger map for the game some years ago. It's excellent to track progress and know which steps would be doable next. Nice. Do you like, you mean you like check off things as people do them so you know, it's like a randomizer almost, you know what checks are available? Game thought you wanted some bats. Well, I do like bats. Most of the time. What are these little slugs? And is there an eyeball in this room? Oh no. I don't see an eyeball, which is refreshing. Beyond the skull lies the entrance to the blank. Bats, my favorite! It's a flow chart. I come across them. I cross them out whenever they're done. Nice. Are you all using spoiler chat or just sitting back enjoying the ride? Not that it matters either way. I'm just always curious if people find it helpful. And it's like a fun community thing when people are in there talking. It's rather dormant. Okay. No worries. The blank, 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 blank are. Beyond the skull lies the entrance to the blank, 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 blank are. Sitting back and crocheting, because if my hands weren't busy, I'd be like, oh my god, have you done spoiler? Nice storage. Crocheting is good for that. I was considering if I should post the flowchart. Maybe. I find that super interesting. If I was watching, I would want to see it. But I can't, because it's spoilers. Is this a room? No. And there's another dolphin. And this room does not have an eyeball. Am I taking any notes? No. Blank. I'm gonna get lost in here forever. Such is the case with a labyrinth. It is interesting you can see like tablets you've already read. Oh yeah, I don't know how to deal with these guys yet. You can't harm them until they turn around. I drew out the puzzle dependency graph for this game. It's huge and wild. Oh yeah. I do usually look into spoiler chat after I finish the game. We have had in the past where I had a couple playthroughs going on at the same time, where I couldn't look for like a really long time. But, for the most part, I like to go back in and see. Alright, that's enough of that for now. Didn't I say we were gonna take a stretch break? Did I forget completely? Did we take one? I don't think we have since after the nail art. Let's go heal in the puddle. And then take a stretch break. And then think about, on break, if there is a general area hint of like a zone I should work on. Before we do that, let's review what I know. Or what I think I know. When you take a stretch break, do you go sit in a puddle? Yeah. I just hop in the bath really quick. So, because I feel like we've seen a lot, but we haven't done a lot. With Ankhs, with red lights and jewels, with spirits, with elevators, with floodgates, any of it. Like, I've read about it, but I haven't done any action on it. This is on PC. Hi, Sacred Jade. Welcome in. I have the most access to Gate of Guidance. Can you look at the menu? Yes. I have... Oh, and I have 63 coins. If I get 80, I can get the heat-proof case. And if I get 100, I can get the gun. I just have so many notes. If I get the serpent staff, I can fight Argus. Where did I see this? Chi-Yo, sacrificial abyss demon, absorb life force of maidens. Maidens? Pure maiden is what we need for the scale sphere. The maiden of purity. 8 onks. Red light is the onk jewel. Guardian slumber in the onks. Shatter under the bright red light. 7 histories. Lemeza is hunky on this screen. With the helmet underneath the hat. We know about the heavenly corridor. Maybe I should work on that. Holy Grail. Philosopher's Sigil. Okay, well, think on that. Here, I'll leave some notes. Do you want to see the notes while I'm on my break? Do you want to read this while I'm away? My horrible, horrible handwriting. Enjoy stretch break. I can even, you know what? I can even turn up the music for stretch break. I'm feeling it today. I know I keep it like way too quiet. Enjoy. See you soon. I hope you had a good break. Lexi, I agree. So I liked the music the first time I heard it, and the first day everybody came in and was like, oh my god, it's such a bop, it's such a bop. But I can't listen to it for long periods of time at all, especially this track. And like, is this the same as the Gate of Guidance track? It wears you down after a while. And you're trying so hard to write notes and like concentrate and remember things while the music is like, yeah, like super upbeat the whole time. So the first day we just listened to lo-fi and I felt really bad. But I don't know, I'd rather understand the lore and like be able to play longer than constantly have it like grating on my mind and be like, oh, I can't find peace. Naramura, the lead developer and composer, had absolutely no musical education as far as I know, all done from pure talent. Wow. Every area has its own. Okay. The music is a very lot, yeah. But it doesn't mean it's bad, it's just... I'm trying to activate my puzzle brain, not my dance party boss fight brain. I don't know why I'm going up here. I felt the urge. Oh, because of the waterfall. What do you say we go on a little waterfall journey as a side quest before I pick a region to go explore? Did you all get any ideas on break for a nudge? Is the nudge that it's too early for a nudge? Enjoy the fresh air. I need a break from the tunnels for a minute. It demands all of your brains, yes. I know where I would suggest. I was just saying if during break, if there was like, you had ideas for one particular zone that would be a nice place to focus on for the moment, since I'm having trouble picking one and like sticking to it. Wait, did I never do this? Because I never figured out how weights worked? Or maybe I did, but then I died. Shell horn? Whoops. A large shell fashioned into a horn. It plays a strange melody when you solve mysteries. What? Huge find! I can't tell you. You've made lots of progress, so I kind of have no idea how stuck you feel. That's fair. Like, no pressure to nudge. The last time you were on the screen, you didn't know how to use pedestals. That's so funny. Thanks, fishies. Okay, yeah, I missed this the whole time. No shellhorn so far. I don't know, because the first thing we did in the playthrough was come up here and die before I ever saved. Like, 3 times? How many times did I die before I found the save file function? And, like, didn't even make it into the ruins. So I didn't come back here because I just was like, I don't know. That's what I did before the start of the playthrough. And it didn't go well. The puzzle solve noise from the horn is the best dopamine in the world! You solved the whole game hours ago but didn't get the shell horn notification. That's one that you push at the beginning. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I'm glad that you didn't push it, but I get why. And it's not like a huge puzzle solving thing. It's just the dopamine. So yeah, I got really ambitious and was like, I'm gonna jump off the waterfall because I don't trust Zelpud and they told me not to. Oh, whoops. Rip. I forgot what was over there. It's just a bottomless pit. Nobody saw that. Rapid water. Weaklings should turn back. Like, should I save now that I have the shell horn? I'm not a weakling. I'm Professor Lameza! I came all the way over here. Okay, well, this isn't helping me. I don't think I can do much. Oh, there is something, like, behind the rock up there? There's a blue and yellow chest-colored thing. I can use my laptop underwater, so I can warp out of here if I don't want to stay. This isn't going very well. Sus. Zelpud is shifty, yeah. Knowing when something got solved can still help figuring out what might have happened. Yeah. But like, well, in any case, I'm glad you didn't push it. I don't want to overestimate your abilities, but I suspect you could find the shell horn again. I don't know. Oh, I'm at 8. Alright, I'm gonna chicken out and go back. Because I think all that was left there was the ladder to come back up. And I want to save with the shell horn after I visit the puddle. Time to cross that item off the graph. Yay! There are a few places where the shell horn would have helped you for sure if you'd had it. I did see yesterday there was a moment the shell horn's absence made chat go, what? Now I have to solve something so I can hear it. That's very funny. Okay. For this question, of the regions, region names only for the answer, and they can only be regions like I've already seen, obviously. And there probably won't be full consensus in chat. That's okay. I'm just looking for safe word advice on Gate of Guidance, Endless Corridor, Spring in the Sky, Temple of the Sun, Mausoleum of the Giants, like where to focus on. In your opinion, I know it's like super subjective It sounds like a couple people have, I don't know, are leaning one way or the other. You'd say Gate of Guidance for now, which makes sense, right? I've been straying from where I first had access to, and I haven't finished that yet. And I don't think this game is like super linear, but there are things that I will probably have to have in one area to get to another. We all have faith in you being able to solve something somewhere. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, pretty much consensus, it seems. And I have new tools since going there last. I can jump higher than I've ever jumped. I have room names. I'll go against the grain and say Mausoleum of Giants. Okay. I like it. I like the Mausoleum of Giants. I feel like I know the most about it because we have all of these giant names. Oh, now we're split. That sign? The sign? The at sign. How long does it take me? Welcome in. So for Gate of Guidance, I have the clue about wait, what does this say? Mother lays to rest, path of trials, do not fear death. Path of gazing faces is in the heavenly corridor. There's a hidden floor. This is Heavenly Temple of the Cross, where we are now. Not Heavenly Gate. Heavenly Gate is next to us. I would have said Spring in the Sky. I'm gonna stick to Gate of Guidance for now, because we spent a lot of time on Mausoleum of the Giants, and I feel a little stuck. I like bouncing around. If I'm feeling stuck, it's nice to like try someplace new. I think I can fall down, yeah, to that platform from here if I really want to. I'll go even against the, more against the grain and say Sun Temple. Well, that wasn't a very helpful question for me to ask then, was it? Someplace new or old. The ruins are littered with traps. Go all the places the others haven't mentioned. We tried, so here's what I tried today so far was Endless Corridor, which then I realized the pendant probably isn't in the Endless Corridor, it's wherever Isis is. And then I tried Sun Temple for a bit. And we, you know, made progress because I have the ability to walk up the little conveyor belts now. Let's just kind of, for the time being, look for hidden floors and smiling faces. Gazing faces, rather. I don't know what these things are. Do I have to shoot these with a gun, maybe? Is it a target? One day I'll know. They're all kind of old, ancient even, yes. Do the weapons get stronger as you go? I don't know. Oops. Oh my god. The eyeball's right there. Embrace the power. If thou seeketh power, prove the courage. Traipse is on holy ground. Take care not to cause needless damage. Those who do not heed this warning will be dealt punishment from the heavens. Needless damage. I wonder if that has to do with the eyeballs. Room of Courage. Trapdoor. These have been open for a very long time. I should probably figure out how to get to them. Aww. Cheap. Not fair. That was a lot of money. Okay, quick, go back, because I haven't saved since opening it. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't think it matters that much. There will be more coins, right? You did that too? I wasn't even thinking. I forgot that the whip opens them. Everyone makes that mistake once. It's a rite of passage. I'm not gonna undo it. Yep, exactly, Petrie. Yep. Alright. I'm risking it all. Wait, no, I need to do it again. I just fell there. I get so excited that I can defeat these skeletons now. Hidden floor. I don't know. How many weights do I have? 7. I think I actually died, reloaded, forgot, and made the mistake twice. No worries. I'm sure I won't make any mistakes twice, 3 times, 4 times in this playthrough. Alright, let's go to the Heavenly Corridor. Where is that? Below the Heavenly Gate, where the save is. I wonder... So, like, now that I have this shell horn, that'll probably tell me when I can do the thing that says to solve all the puzzles and then descend. That'll probably help with that. Okay. Is there a hidden floor above this so that I can fall down and press that switch? Oops. There's no room to the left of this, supposedly. Is the game audio out of sync? It might be a little. Is it noticeably uncomfortable? It might be because of OBS settings. What if I jump straight into these spikes? Good science. It's not uncomfy. It's synced on my side. Does it have anything to do with like low latency mode in the Twitch player? Those who challenge the Guardian know thy strength. Death awaits the powerless. The future awaits those who train themselves and take on the challenge. Okay. Can I make this jump this whole time? Cam audio is synced. That's good. I feel like that's slightly more important. I found it. But I got excited and fell. So there is a room above this. Even though the map doesn't show it. You guys hear game audio? I can't have La-Mulana soundtrack on repeat. I know it's really quiet. Too quiet. I haven't been over here in a while. Oh, here's the demon, and this has a photo that I never noticed before. A drawing. Chiyo, the demon who attained the power of eternity by absorbing the life force of innocent maidens. Woe unto those that fall into the sacrificial abyss. What is this? No matter how many times I try, the treasure box won't open. I haven't been back here in a minute. There's a switch over there. I don't think I had... Oh, it made a noise. It's the tiniest noise ever, but it did make a noise. I don't know that I knew how weights worked the last time I tried this either. My bed is calling. What a lovely, quiet, snowy night. Have a good sleep, everyone. Take care, kitty. We'll see you around. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. I can't use the hand scanner. Oh, I tried to use my whip and I failed. The staircase doesn't exist. The switch is back. Weird. There's a PDF manual which has some information that the game doesn't itself provide, but it's spoilery. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, Dronin. Welcome in. I know, it's like a debate of... Is it helpful? Is it too helpful? I haven't looked at it yet. We made the decision that if I'm, like, super stuck, I will use it as a resource. But for now, I think I'm gonna hold off. I'm in good hands. You all have been extremely helpful. Without being spoilery at all. The item list is baffling. I get why they needed to add some info, but why all of that? I couldn't tell ya. Okay, I'm just gonna... Nope. I thought it would be closer than it was. That's alright. Those who push the white box, white platform, and white box are drawn to each other. Olmec. We've read that before. Amphisbaena is this snake. Okay. Pit of the Holy Grail. What was the other pit? There was a pit. Pit of the moon. Moon gazing pit. Okay. Interesting. I remember a streamer that had their community make hints, but in riddle form. That's fun. Might have been watching old VOD right before I happened on this. Nice. Is it safe to spoil other games? If you hit the underside of some blocks with your head, sometimes there are super mushrooms. Please, no spoilers. What if somebody hasn't played that? At least the item descriptions are made from assuming outside perspective are basically worthless for spoilers. We're gonna skip the stretch break. We took a stretch break not that long ago. Oop, I almost didn't make that jump. I also, even though I'm getting beat up all the time, feel like I'm a little bit more used to the knockback, etc. Ah! Where did you come from? Heck yes! Ha 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 ha. Okay, the money that I will lose forever. Hidden floor is actually a hidden ceiling. Fear not. Oh, I should write this down. My notes are all over the place now. Just gonna write it on here. Fear not the water. The water holds the answers for those who have been delivered by it. If you play Pot of Greed, you get to draw 2 cards. I'll open the chest in a second. Instills mixed feelings towards architecture. Holds the answer. Delivered by it. Cross the sacred lake. And then we've got a picture. It's like a platform and then a big pit and then an exit. So like the exit's a little lower down than the platform. I feel like I recognize this room from Spring in the Sky maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. There's a water level. Okay, this is the worst drawing ever. Water level and like a rectangle. Close enough. I think this is like a ladder down here. It's something. It sure is something. Who built invisible ceilings? Putting stuff on there would just look janky. Cute for cat photos? Yeah. You always need more places for better cat photos. Money? Both of them were money? I demand lore. I mean, we got lore. This looks very important. I think crucial even. Alright, let's go save. I only wasted half a fortune. We've been playing this game for how many streams? And we're at 5 hours in on the save file. That's very funny to me. Okay, so now I can check off this box. This one. And the 2 chests over here. Wait, that was wild. I didn't even pay attention. I gotta do it again. The current stream is 5 hours. Makes perfect sense. Oh, this doesn't stay unlocked? Weird. This is really elaborate to get back there, too. Oh no, Oh, I almost didn't make it again. Do we think those faces, that face statue is like always pointing at stuff for me? This takes me back up to, it like warps me over to this room. With the spring in the sky entrance. It's very interesting. And I can't get back down. I hate that I can't go back. I'm just doing it the quick way. This is the 4th session, right? I think so. Because we played Sunday, Monday of last weekend, and then we played yesterday. Funnily enough, one pause menu stops the timer, the other one doesn't. Oh, yeah. Hi, Mom. Welcome in. Let's keep saving. So now what's my next goal? We found the hidden floor. We found... We still haven't found the path of gazing faces. The Ankh lies beyond the path of gazing faces. Is it... This is a gazing face. Does it have to do with these face statues that are embedded in the wall? I think maybe just that other one was there. Should I jump again? Like jump once and jump another time? Pit of the Holy Grail, right. This elevator needs to come back. Oh, that was weird. Maybe there's another one. Hey. Gazing faces. And we heard the shell horn. It's so quiet. Should I make the sound effects louder just so we can hear the shell horn? Okay, so that was this one. Which... Even that, I don't know what it did for me yet. The Ankh is beyond the path of gazing faces. Okay. It's the most satisfying puzzle solved sound. Hi, Dama. But I don't know what that did for me yet. But it made the noise. If you had trouble hearing the sound, it might be a good idea to increase the sound effects. I can hear it. I don't know if you all can hear it. You could hear it fine. Everything is beyond the gazing faces. They don't have much imagination. What happens if I leave this room and come back? Is the switch still pressed? Yeah. Do we think it got rid of one of those eye wall things, maybe? It didn't make this staircase appear. Kind of relying on getting some health back if I defeat enough enemies. We'll see. It did not make this eye wall disappear. Oh, come on. This is the door to Eden. We have notes about Eden. Open 4 boxes. I'm assuming it's stand on 4 pedestals. Or like put weights on 4. Stand before face of highest rank. And a place bathed in moonlight. Which supposedly I have the celestial thing turned to moonlight. Oh, I see a weight switch up there. How am I supposed to get up there? And when I press this, it makes the noise. Weird. I kind of want to go back and save, though. Just because I got that switch. I don't like this platform. Pit of the Holy Grail. Going back up. Buying more weights, yeah. And I only have 1. This one seems to stay pressed. We have 114 coins. When did that happen? Okay, let's go buy weights and go sit in the puddle. And even though I'm about to refill on health, I'm gonna do it anyway. And I don't know. Do we buy a heat-proof case? Or do we buy a gun? Don't answer that. I can decide on my own. The only thing I need the gun for... Well, okay. My theories on the gun are... I can't remember. No, I think it's in the software shop. Those, like, round disc things on the walls that look breakable. And the clue that says point and shoot. What about a heat-proof gun? I like it, I like it. Okay, let's do it because it's far easier. Well, 80 coins and 100 coins aren't that far off from each other. But, like, I'm really curious. Let's get a new toy. Oops, I keep forgetting which thing is where. Continuing to go into the wrong shop. Thank you kindly. All sold out. Does Zelpud have any thoughts about the gun? I'm gaming, don't bug me. Relatable. Pistol. The end-all in sub-weapons. It has superior destructive power. Do I not have ammo for it, though? That's amazing. You know, didn't really think that through. Okay, don't shoot this thing while there's kids around. It says 0 and then :6, so I was thinking that was 0 out of 6. Please don't answer that. I know it seems like a mechanics thing, but I'm just, like, processing this new item I got. Whoa. Okay, so that didn't work. It's got sort of a laser sight situation. That's fun. Oh, this room is the other light source that it talks about. Something about raising up a third light. Okay. So maybe we use the gun for point and shoot, and obviously to shoot at enemies. What was the command for helping policy? It is, I think, help or rules or first. I also think I have a button for it. It's long, so I try not to like overuse it, but I really, only if I say safe word is when I actually mean I want my question answered, because I think out loud a lot, and I try not to put it in question format, but it's inevitable sometimes. Sorry if it's confusing. So far, we haven't had any problems, and that's not really spoilers at all. It's not that I don't... That's not a spoiler. I also don't want help. I also don't want confirmation until I'm, like, really stuck. It's not spoilers, Dama, but it is help, and I'm like, no, don't help me. If UI is hard to parse, can be a good critique of the game. Yeah, sure. Like, there are a few things with UI or mechanics that I can't science out on my own anyway. So I'm gonna try to do that before I'm, like, asking for confirmation on things. I want to go back to... Sorry. I want to go back to, like, this bottom corner. I keep going down there but then coming back up. So maybe let's explore this. And then this is the one-way door to get to the Cliff of Radiance, which something jewel is at the foot of the Cliff of Radiance. The LMUI definitely has flaws, but has a lot of character, yeah. It's a game where it's kind of intentionally not clear. It's good, kind of inaccessible, cruel, but unfair. So far, I haven't had... Like, I feel like this is not the perfect game for me, but I like things to be figure it out on your own. And it's supposed to be like that. Whereas other games where it says it like in like Outer Wilds or like, I don't know, games where it's right there in the UI and I just miss it, I still like to punish myself, I guess, and just like, I don't see it until I don't see it. Whereas other viewers would be like, oh my god, it's right on the screen, I can't handle this, just read the screen, you know what I mean? But this one, it's understandable that I wouldn't get something because so much of it is so cryptic. I guess that's what I'm getting at. Anyway. We will go for like just a little bit longer. It's getting to be about that time. This is Pit of the Holy Grail. I want to keep going down. This is also Pit of the Holy Grail. I want to keep going down to the bottom 2 rooms. Monument of Time. Oh, this is where the little banners live. And we read about these, and this has to do with the different eras of the different children. Outer Wilds totally blinds you with information, but loves you and wants you to succeed. La-Mulana lets you die of exposure on a hill before you get to the ruins. Yeah. Hi, Semi. Welcome in. How's it going? We were talking about bikes earlier. I was thinking of you. Talking about public transportation earlier. Okay, so that is the entrance to Mausoleum of the Giants. There's not, like, a chest to open here. Oh, I'm gonna get hit by this. But what I learned in the labyrinth, destroyed by the flood, destroyed by the god of wind, destroyed by the god of fire, destroyed by the rain of blood and fire. Those are the 4 symbols that are on those banners. And they're in this room, too. Which is weird. Can I read these? No. I can't examine them midair. Oh. This is the same one! The first age of the sun was destroyed by flood, the second age of the... But this is... not age of the sun, but this was talking about children. This is saying something completely different. Okay, we're going for it with the notes. They're unorganized. It's fine. I do love a good bike lane. Same. Gate of Guidance. Monument of Time. First Age of Sun. Destroyed by flood. No, wait, it is the same. God of Wind, God of Fire. See Labyrinth notes. I don't know why I read that as like one off on the lines. The 4th Age of Sun was destroyed by blood and fire falling from the sky. The 4th Age and the 6th Child. Same thing was written in Mayan prophecy. Could there be a connection? Diorik, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you being here. It's been a longer stream. Maybe I have to examine these in a specific order then? Flood, wind, fire, blood. Where are my notes that say which one is which? Here. Flood is this. Wind. Fire. Blood. Nothing happened. Am I supposed to attack them? Oh, you can attack me through walls. That was needless violence. Maybe it just doesn't like you using your whip if you're not attacking something and or breaking open something. You can examine them, yes. I can't push them. I don't know. I can examine the eye? Shoots lightning when holy objects within the ruins are damaged. It's been a secret this whole time, but you can actually examine the eye. Eye of Divine Retribution. Lightning. When holy objects damaged. Oh, I forgot to do science to see how much damage I take from the lightning. Out of curiosity. What if I'm just standing here and use it? It doesn't care about that. It cares about holy objects. Which, same. The sad tale of the giants. The tragic history of the giants is written here. Which is how the children died. What else did I read? There was something else about the tablet or the lore where the history was written. Nebra Sky Disc, Mother, Leto, Ghost Lord. Sit tight until he's full grown. Do you think the ghost enemies in the Mausoleum of the Giants get larger and larger? That's an interesting theory. Brothers dug hole, sent water to tower. Miguela carried Lake to power the tower, then drew his last breath. Aim and shoot. For tower to fly, much water was needed. Gee, moonlit night started praying to the land. More prayers and more moonlight. Do you think maybe when it's the sky disk is on the moon that the G statue changes? It's possible. Blanket of stars, deep slumber. Zebu sustained the land. Those who plunder the red, something shall never escape. Strength lies at the foot of Futo. I'm looking for something about where this history is written down. But I don't know. I don't know. The Nebraska disc. Is it over here? Youngest was Sakit. Put a key on Leto's body. Second race born of Great Mother, created to return the Mother to the heavens. The 9 brothers. I don't know. I can't find it. I might not have written it down. Unless one of these tablets just says, like, here lies the history of the giants. Solve all puzzles. Scale sphere. Call forth the power of the twins. Meditate under the eye. Wedge it. Cast light and the truth shall be revealed. I don't know. There's so much to read. Helmet for waterfalls. Move the tower. Till child with strength to rise is born. Yeah, I don't know. If that was a thing I wrote down, I don't know where it is. Maybe I should watch the intro to this game again. It goes so hard. Okay, enough of that. Maybe this is just telling me that the tragic history of the giants is written below in the mausoleum of the giants. I haven't been back in this room in a while. We'll probably end in here. Hi, Kaz. I know, we're jamming. The music's pretty dang good. I needed a change of music for a little bit from the gate. Because this one, I think, is my favorite track so far. This is Last Shrine, right here. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, that was poor planning on my part. So these are the ruins of those beings known as giants. I am this close to deciphering the legend, but... ... Was this a game the reviews were saying was absurdly difficult and puzzly? Yes. The reviews said it was punishing. But thankfully, not in the way of combat as much as in the way of, like, paying attention to notes. And I like a good puzzle. Pretty sure there's a trapdoor here. Punishing, do you agree? You know, there's some... Once I got the way to save and, like, fast travel, not as much. That is critical. If I hadn't gotten that, I don't know. Very extremely punishing. But I feel much better ever since finding that. We were unable to fulfill the Great Mother's wishes. Now I, too, the last remaining, am due for a long slumber. Is that what I already wrote down about Abuto? Yes, that's the first note I took for this area. I just never saved after reading it because I didn't know where the save was in this area yet. Okay. This is the room where I can't read the lore tablet again. This is Room of Redemption. Interesting. punishing mainly because of quality of life things. Sounds like the puzzles themselves are okay. I think the puzzles are, like, I still feel like I'm early into it. I wouldn't say the puzzles are easy, but I feel like there's lots to do and try and, like, run around and draw maps in the meantime, which is nice. But there's a ton that is, like, really cryptic, too. I don't know. I'm not a good judge because I haven't been playing it a super long time. I know some things. This room had a clue. I'll go back in here again. Nebra Sky Disc clue. Okay. Yeah. I love drawing maps. It's true. This is the alien room. Jen the cartographer. That has been said at least once in the playthrough so far. I think twice now. This is also the Room of Redemption. Let's go check out some of these statues. I've read this. Do you think I can fall down there and fall to the left? I don't know. Not far enough to the left. We went splat. Speaking of randomly, I've been spending a lot of time onboarding my replacement. The other day she was like, I might be late to our meeting coming back from my class. And I was like, oh, you're a student like me? And she said, no, I'm taking a course about maps because I think they're neat. Chase your dreams. Maps are neat. Just coming back from a class. Oh, there's where that other platform is. I finally found it. Or I thought I did. Ow. Weird. Maybe let's do a quick save. Oh, rude. Very rude. Class during the workday. Yeah, that's some dedication. I swear a second ago I didn't bonk my head. Oh, there we go. But, like, how does this help me? Is this... Do I have a clue to this somewhere? A drawing of where these platforms are? I don't know. Maybe we can take a map class together. That'd be nice. I'm opening this. It's a waste of weights. But I want to read this again. There's no drawing on it. I was hoping there would be a drawing. Nope, nope. I hit you. That's not fair. We're going towards... This is Monument to Hermes. Which is where the shop is. Oh, this is... What about the room with the save? Shaft to the Heavens. Interesting. I can only draw Michigan because it looks like a hand, and I have one of those. Everything else I could improve upon. The graph paper we used for Metroid 2 ages ago. And I haven't busted it out since, but this type of game needs it. Oh yeah, and this is blocked. But I have been to that room before. Hey, look, there's a fish over there. No, I don't think I've ever been to that room. How do I get to that fish? Oh no, I'm gonna get trapped. I don't know, let's jump down. Oh. Oh, there's an elevator. I should have taken the elevator. Here, what about these ghost lords? Let's watch them. Let's observe them. I don't think I have fish pop as an emote anymore. We had too many pop emotes. The emote menu was getting overwhelming. The thing I have about Ghost Lord, it says, will appear before your eyes, sit tight until he's full grown. But are these ghosts Ghost Lords, or are they just cute little ghosts? They did appear before my eyes. I don't have BTTV. Oh, no worries. Ghost Lords, or as I like to say, Glords. Maglord. Are you full grown? They don't seem to be getting any bigger. They're just little guys. Okay, I don't know. I'll pass for now. Ah! Ah! Oh, I thought maybe I could stand there, but I can't. Oh, this ladder! I really want to climb this. This will take me to the fish. Why won't it let me? Maglords, magladies, magentle days. Smasher past Ghost Lords. Oh my goodness. Who are they the ghost of? I don't know. This room is called Star Palace of the Giants. And there's a Moon Palace of the Giants. Interesting. We've talked about Moonlight. We've talked about Blanket of Stars. Beto. Blanket of Stars, Deep Slumber. That one basically says, like, with a blanket of stars overhead, Beto went into a deep slumber. Number 6 will shock you, please. So is one of these statues Beto? The rest split into 2 sides. Is this Beto battling someone? Very interesting. Leto, sun shone brightly on the day he fell. Leto, sun. G, moon. Beto, stars. Tarmac and Gelato Tanagra. Oh my god. Exactly. Ah, yes. We found another Trekkie. Welcome. Have you seen our emotes? No, just one emote? No, we have the Picard facepalm. but it's me as a Vulcan for Halloween. And, oh no, I'm gonna die. Wait, hang on. This is very sad. Star Palace. I want to make progress. Star Palace. Are there 3 screens of Star Palace? I probably just wasn't paying attention. That was like one of the first Star Trek episodes, if not the first Star Trek episode I ever watched. I'm like super leaning forward. Sun shone brightly the day he fell, gaping hole in chest entered eternal slumber. Aren't we like really close to the save? Whatever. No. We're below it and to the right. If I go to this save, I don't automatically heal, but I would like to go heal and buy some more weights, I think. Just real quick. Real quick. Pop up to the surface. Actually, we might wrap up. It's nearly 6 hours. But I'm having fun. You know what series? When the cartographer says, let's bust out the thick paper. Things are getting real. Alright. We'll go have a little sit in the warm puddle. It was a hella stream. I did my nails. And then Duncan had an episode. But we got through it. It was a really long break. And then we played this for several hours. Duncan is fine, but he wouldn't take his pill when I gave it to him wrapped in cheese on our break. And so I had to try other methods of giving him his pill. But before I could give it to him, he decided to throw up with nothing in his stomach. So then I started worrying and I gave him some kibble. He's fine now. He's sleeping, but it was just a whole thing. Meanwhile, I was also trying to eat a snack because it's stream break and I was starving. And, you know, fur babies. And like the stream be right back screen is going and I'm like, it's been forever. This is the longest break. I'm so sorry. Y'all were super nice though and supportive, so it's all good. We did so much today. We found the shell horn. We took a bunch of notes about Isis and the Nebris sky disk. We found the sky disk. We learned about filling the sun temple with water, potentially. We found what I think is the fish for the scale sphere, hopefully. I don't know, just lots of little bits and pieces. Oh, and I found that one map in the Hall of Gazing Faces, or whatever it's called. That was big. So yeah. I got the helmet, I got the shell, I got the gun. Good times.